Record. Okay, welcome, Pavol Luptak. It's a pleasure to have you at the Bitcoin Future 2020 online conference. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you a lot for asking. It's super cold here in Slovakia, but fortunately,
Good.
on Saturday I'm flying to Ethiopia, so Italy to Africa. So yeah, I have to survive a few days.
That's nice. I mean, the final result will be streamed on December 21st. So I think a lot of people will also be abroad in will watch from Bali. I will be in Florida at the time, so it's going to be an interesting mix. Look, some people probably don't know you at all, so it would be very interesting to start with a simple introduction. Who is Pavol Luptak? What's your background? And give a short introduction.
Okay, so my technical background is I'm like the ethical hacker, like IT security expert. So I have two companies which are involved in ethical hacking, penetration testing, security audits, and what we basically do application security, security analysis of mobile application, web application. We do for like a lot of, especially for financial sector. And this is my technical background. This is my main income. And then I have a lot of hobbies, and one of my most interesting and most significant project is definitely Pavol. I'm one of the co-founder of this project, Pavol, and I would like to introduce this project. So, firstly, I would like to start the history. History, it started in Czechoslovakia, which was like a socialistic dictatorship regime during 70s. And during this era, it was we used to call it like an era of normalization, because the regime was really strict. It was impossible to change the system, to make revolution, to make the demonstration, to do anything. And also there were a lot of like secret agents, something like KGB, but Czechoslovakian version. It's called STB. And all these secret agents, they were infiltrated into the population. So nobody trusted nobody, and it was really tough era. And during the 70s, in the end of the 70s, there were some political dissidents. One of the political dissidents were, for example, Václav Havel, which was also then the first Czechoslovakian president when we switched to democracy system. And another interesting guy, dissident from this political organization, was Václav Benda. All these people are dead now, but there were very significant and crucial figures in Czechoslovakian history. And in the end of 70s, this guy Václav Benda, he wrote something what is called Paralelní Polis Manifesto. And in this Paralelní Polis Manifesto, he described the need of parallel society. He described that any free society should respect existence of parallel society. And because in that time it was really difficult to live in this dictatorship regime, and Václav Benda, he had very good abstract mind and very good abstract thinking. So he was thinking, okay, so we have to live in a dictatorship regime, but what about to create like a parallel society which can be free, at least for us, for our like small community of political dissidents and our friends. And let's build parallel society. Let's build parallel markets, free markets. Let's build parallel underground free culture. And he was even thinking about parallel legal system. So he wrote the manifesto, which is called Paralelní Polis Manifesto. But unfortunately, this was just concept. So practically, this manifesto has never ever been implemented yet. And nothing happened until 6 years ago. But one important thing that happened during the beginning of 90s, it's cypherpunk movement in California, and specifically in San Francisco. And in cypherpunks in the beginning of 90s, especially guys like Timothy C. May, he wrote Crypto Anarchistic Manifesto when he predicted, for example, existence of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And also there were many other people like Phil Zimmermann, for example, the guy who created the first version of asymmetric encryption called PGP. So all these people, they were totally enthusiastic that it is possible to make end-to-end encryption or end-to-end encrypted communication without possibility of interception by the governments or by the third parties. So this is definitely how the first movement of cypherpunkers started to exist. And so for us, it was definitely very significant. The guy, Timothy C. May, who wrote this Crypto Anarchistic Manifesto, and who also wrote Cyphernomicon, which is basically Crypto Anarchistic Bible. Now I should explain what is crypto anarchy. Crypto anarchy or crypto anarchists are people who believe that thanks to crypto technologies, especially thanks to decentralization, anonymization, cryptocurrencies, we can achieve both economic and personal freedom. We can have much more freedom thanks to these technologies, and we can use these technologies also to create parallel societies. And that was exactly what happened exactly 6 or almost 7 years ago in Prague. I'm also the member of one like a Czech contemporary artist group, which is called Stehlen. And 7 years ago, we were thinking that okay, so we have like a really powerful crypto anarchistic technologies like Bitcoin, for example, Tor, I2P, a lot of technical tools for encrypted communication. So basically, we have crypto tools, and in that time we revealed this Paralelní Polis manifesto from the end of 70s, and we realized that what we can do is just to use these crypto technologies to build a society, parallel society, using these technologies. So now it's very interesting that we are living in a modern society where we can definitely achieve much more freedom and much more privacy thanks to these technologies. So we used to call it like a Parallel Polis version 2, because the first version was created or described in the end of 70s. And so we created Paralelní Polis version 2. We started like a physical place in Prague. We rented the big place. It was more than 1,000 square meter in the center of Prague, like a huge building, 3 floors. One floor was the first floor was Bitcoin Coffee, the first pure crypto only Bitcoin Coffee in the world. The second floor was Paper Hub, which is a co-working space, and the third floor is called Institute of Crypto Anarchy, which is that basically a physical place where we try to promote the ideas and thoughts of crypto anarchy and parallel society. And it was a big success, and like our opening party of this place was called HCPP, which means Hackers Congress of Paralelní Polis. So we started to organize the biggest crypto anarchistic conference in the world. And I think the last time it was like the 6th year. So we till now we invited a lot of like really famous speakers from crypto community. And 2 years ago, we decided to start a branch of Paralelní Polis in Bratislava, which was also like a big success. And some friends, they decided to start a branch also in Barcelona, in Catalonia, and the recent big success from Austria because some people, they decided to start another branch of Parani, Polis Paralele in Vienna, Austria. So yeah, so now we have like 4 branches in Europe, and as you can see, there are a lot of people striving for freedom, looking for freedom, who are willing to build parallel society.
Awesome. Thank you so much. A lot of people are so caught in the mainstream. They don't understand what you're doing there, right? But so many people are looking for alternatives. So many people are striving for alternative ways because they feel caged in by the pre-designed life form in modern society. You mentioned this area of normalization to get back to the very early start. Would you say right now is kind of the best time ever for starting parallel societies, basically, or just building alternatives to the existing basically like social products, right? Or do you also see like there's a lot of uprise now all over the world, that we get into a time where it's going to be more restricted again? What is your outlook there?
Okay, so like the current situation is much more complex, and so the thing is that like at the current, we are definitely moving to some kind of digital dictatorship or financial dictatorship. We can see it especially in Europe, where basically it's impossible to use anonymous debit cards, for example, or credit card, or for example in Slovakia or the Czech Republic, we have cash bans. So you cannot use cash above 5,000 euros as a physical person, or 15,000 euros as a company. So we can see that we are definitely moving towards financial dictatorship, especially when we look to the mainstream society. I think the probably the most developed financial and digital dictatorship is definitely China in this moment. So especially in China, we can see like a scoring system, which is extremely dangerous, affecting privacy of millions and millions of people. And because the thing is that most people, what we realized in parallel policy is that most people, they never ever wanted like primarily freedom, or they want freedom in the future. So firstly, we realized that the people that we are like people looking for freedom. We are minority, and we always will be minority. So we don't believe in a political or democratic political change, because like democratic system is based on the opinion of masses, of majority of people, and majority people don't care, and won't care about freedom. So this is what we definitely realized, and so we don't care about the change of political system. What we want to do is just build parallel society, and we want to use like a powerful technologies to make this society possible, and to protect all people like who decided or who decide to switch to this society from the government. A lot of us, we also prefer something what is called like opt out of the system. So last HCPP was focused on the concept of opt out of the society. For example, me personally, I'm the guy who decided to give up my permanent residency in the European Union. I'm still the citizen of the European Union, but I decided to get the residency in Panama. So I'm Panamanian resident, and it's definitely much better combination where when you handle, for example, with the cryptocurrencies, and you do a lot of crypto transfers and so on. So the thing is, we don't believe in any political change. We don't believe in democracy. We are aware that we are minority, and we also will be the minority around the ground. And everything what we want to do is just to target all people around the world with the same taste for freedom, and our goal is just to be like a huge global community of the people like us. So this is our goal. And another thing is that our goal is freedom, and crypto is just a tool. So crypto, we consider crypto not. It's fine that you can use it like an investment, but crypto for us is primarily a liberation tool. So cryptocurrencies are a liberation tool for us. We love cryptocurrencies because we consider cryptocurrencies to be a liberation tool for us.
I would like to ask you about a rumor that I know of, which is the VAT in the premises in the cafe of Paralelnipolis, and if I know it right, there was a question about are Bitcoin payments legal or illegal, or how are they treated? How do tax authorities see it? And so far as I'm aware, I think you have been successful to keep on only accepting Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in the cafe in Paralelnipolis, right? So maybe you can use that as an example and explain the agorist philosophy also, which you touched on, I think, and make it in very simple terms. So if that makes sense to you.
Okay, so in Parapolis, we are not VAT payers, so it means like a revenue is less than 50,000 euros annually, which means we don't need to be like a VAT payers. Another thing which is quite unique is that in the Czech Republic as well in Slovakia, we have something what is called EET in the Czech Republic and e-Kasa in Slovakia, which is electronic evidence of all financial transactions, which means that when you buy anything in the Czech Republic or Slovakia, the information about it is immediately sent to the Czech or Slovak tax office. For example, in Slovak tax office, they have a summary of all your items you buy in the shops or supermarket. So this is really very sensitive topic, and we consider this system ET or e-Kasa in the Czech Republic and Slovakia to be like a intervention to our financial freedom, and we consider it to be like a dictatorship tool. And that was also the reason why in Paralelnipolis in Prague, since beginning, we decided to boycott this system and to ignore the system. So we are the only organization in the Czech Republic which publicly boycotts and ignored this EET system. So we don't send any such sensitive information to the Czech tax office using EET. So of course we are under inspection of the tax office, but at the same time we are under inspection of like most Czech medias. And this EET system is highly unpopular in the Czech Republic, and it's quite likely that if someone from the Czech office starts to cause us a lot of problems, a lot of medias will write about it. Like so, we just want to be consistent in our fight against like a financial dictatorship. So we cannot accept like to be connected to this EET system. So basically we are still waiting for some raid, some like I don't know, like black armed guys who can like shut down our place. We are prepared for that, but I think this would be definitely the best like for PR for our project. So yeah, so if we officially boycott this law, and the financial like Czech tax office is ever of that, and we are under inspection. So they used to do a lot of tax inspection, and but still with no results.
Yes, so to compare it again with the philosophy of agorism, where you as an entrepreneur or a community take the whole of society as sort of an anarchy, and the government is just the most powerful player, but the rules they set, they are not morally just. You decide what's morally just based on actual moral standards. So, for example, if people in a dictatorship or a communist country demand peacefully demand products from the market, then if you help them buy them, then it's totally fine. It's just the government that calls it black market, right, and tries to control you. And so, would you say that it's worth fighting and worth continuing and trying to be successful in that endeavor? And maybe like if such a rate would happen, if there's a benefit of, or maybe also financial benefit at the end, or just privacy and freedom protected, and I would say, okay, like maybe more people follow the role model.
Yeah, the thing is that like we are a non-profit, non-government organization. So even if you are connected to the Czech tax office, to this EET system, we won't pay any taxes because we have no money. Like we have no profit. So the thing is, this is just like some kind of privacy manifesto, and it definitely works because like I can say that like we have really international influence. And for example, now we have like a conflict with the Czech National Bank, because Czech National Bank, they have like a copyright for the Czech word minca, which means like a coin, like a physical coin. So for example, if you are in the Czech Republic, you are a company or you're any organization, you cannot issue your own coins, because according to the recent Czech law, only Czech National Bank can issue anything which is called coin. So we think that it's like a totally stupid, because historically anyone could print or could issue the coin. So now we have like an open public conflict, as a probably with the Czech National Bank, and you can find a lot of like international articles about this conflict. So the thing is that I think that one of the main priority and one of the most successful things that Pavol police did and still does is that we do like a international PR that definitely it's possible to fight the state, fight the government, try to be resistant, and try to fight for privacy, digital privacy of most people. And what is cool is that also we have a big support in like, especially in technical community, so like our geeks community, they love us.
So I mean, I can understand, that you're still a minority, because not everybody is keen on exposing yourself so much and like taking all these risks, and it's a bit frightening probably for some people. But on the other hand, it's probably very exciting, And if you look at your lifetime, okay, like what you want to do, if you realize these things are going on, then it's worth probably at least trying to create a better world. However, it's not without fun. So I came to the conference, the annual conference, which you mentioned, which is one of the most amazing gatherings of like-minded people in that space, and the atmosphere is just smashing. It's a fantastic meetup. So it is also it is factual happening that there are people thinking that way, that this parallel society is being created as we speak, right? And it's not just it's also fun, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely happy that you like the conference place. we like organizing of this conference is really difficult, and a lot of people are involved. So last time I think almost 70 people were involved just in the organization of this event. So definitely don't hesitate and come to the next HCPP 2020.
You mentioned that it's privacy is a big issue, and so I wanna shed some light on Bitcoin and your views on Bitcoin. We want to help here, allow people to have an unbiased view and learn more. So obviously, Bitcoin was designed, as you explained, as a tool, as a means for the outcome to allow people to protect their privacy, their financial privacy, and so forth. Um, what is Bitcoin for you, and maybe what was your way into Bitcoin a little bit, if you can share that?
Yeah. Okay. So like uh, I think I revealed Bitcoin in probably 2010, so quite early, and it was thanks to the first version of crypto markets. I think it was like a Silk Road market, and I was totally fascinated that something like that is technically feasible. And in that time, I was also a big fan of anonymization technologies like Tor, for example, I2P, PGP, and all. And Bitcoin was just cool because it was like from purely technical point of view, it was great because it was the first decentralized cryptocurrency. So yeah, so I attended the first crypto Bitcoin conference in Prague, then in London, I think it was in 2010, and the second one was in 2011. I met a lot of interesting people, and these people they later became our core speakers at HTTP conference, like for example Frank Brown or Smuggler or Paul Rosenberg. So all these people are people that I shared the interest with them in Bitcoin, for example, since beginning. And Bitcoin for me, as I mentioned before, is a crypto liberation tool. So now the thing is that Bitcoin is not like a truly anonymous cryptocurrency. It's pseudo-anonymous cryptocurrency because public blockchain. Because Bitcoin has a public blockchain. But so for like a daily transaction, I try to use Monero. So from this point of view, I'm like a Monero guy. But so I use Bitcoin as a store of value, and for daily transaction, I try to use Monero. So cryptocurrencies for me are really liberation tools. So I started to use cryptocurrencies not just because of investment, just because I wanted privacy. I wanted a financial privacy. This was my main reason why I decided to use cryptocurrencies.
Great. So regardless of the price, but I mean, of course, the Bitcoin price is kind of the fascinating signal also. So where do you see Bitcoin heading in next year, 2020?
I hope to the moon.
Okay.
I don't know. So like the thing is, I'm definitely not a typical holder. I'm like a Bitcoin user, so I spend and I use Bitcoin daily and also Monero. So, but I strongly believe that Bitcoin will go to the moon like next year. I don't know. I hope everybody hopes.
What makes you confident? What are maybe the key things, the key factors that make you confident about Bitcoin? Because still people, they are interested, but they believe I'm maybe unsure, it's uncertain, maybe it will go down, maybe it cannot work out, maybe it can be banned or something. So what are the factors that make you confident that Bitcoin will be marching on?
So for example, if you have some problem with volatility, like fluctuation of Bitcoins, you can still use like a hedging. For example, there is like great portal like BitMax, and what you can do, you can try to hedge your dollar value in Bitcoins using some specific contracts. So there are a lot of ways how you can store your fiat value physically in Bitcoins using BitMax. Using this perpetual, it's called like perpetual swap. And using this technology, you can still have Bitcoins and you can still be immune against fluctuation of cryptocurrencies. So I have a lot of friends and they have like a fiat account in crypto using BitMax. So it's definitely possible. Or you can use DAI, which is a decentralized stablecoin. So there are a lot of ways for people who have like some fear or some problems with the fluctuation of cryptocurrencies.
Cool, awesome. For someone still undecided whether it makes sense to learn about Bitcoin, why should somebody in 2020 start learning about Bitcoin?
Because it's definitely